Hi ladies, it's Mitch Haas here at the Pure Romance Studios in Cincinnati. We are, at the time of this filming, getting ready to kick off the Live Your Best Life tour. We're super excited about it, and I'm most excited personally about the business plans. So when you signed up for the Live Your Best Life tour, you were given the options of a couple of different business metrics that you'd like to see yourself and your team hitting in 2020. So when you signed up, if you are a consultant, advanced consultant, senior consultant, or associate director, we basically are going to funnel you through one of three business plans so that you can focus solely on Q1 going into 2020 and what your game plan is, getting parties on the calendar, all that kind of stuff so that you can hit your income goals. If you're a director or above, we're going to walk you through a little bit more of a dynamic business plan so that you can actually look at where you've been with your business metrics, and then the numbers that you gave us that you want to hit in 2020, we can show you what that growth will look like at each one of your downline levels and then how it'll affect your income overall. So first we're going to jump into the lower level business plan. So again, we gave you three options based on the amount of effort that you want to be putting through to your Pure Romance business going into Q1 of 2020. So we phrased it as, do you want to be making $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, or $3,000 a month? So based on your answer to that, that is what dictates which one of the business plans you would be given. So first we're going to jump into the $1,000 month business plan, see what that looks like for you. Jumping into it, we're going to look in the upper left-hand corner of the PDF that you were given. This PDF is going to give you all of your assumptions that we baked in here. So if you want to do $1,000 a month, you're going to be doing about 4 to 5 parties a month in order to earn that, and that's at about a $600 party average. Now, that's very average for the company. We wanted to make sure that we're not setting lofty goals or anything like that. So doing about 4 to 5 parties a month at that $600 party average will get you that $1,000. So let's see what that looks like. So going from the upper left-hand corner over, we've got your 2020 personal retail goal pegged at $31,800. So how you're going to hit that is it says 4.7 parties per month, so 4 to 5. We'll see how that fluctuates in January, February, and March. And then average orders per month, 37.3. Then average income per month, that's where you're getting that $1,000, slightly over. Going down to activations, so in 2020, we want to map out doing 8 activations. We want to make sure that you are not only advancing in your business, but you're planning for that attrition rate that does happen to everybody's business, no matter how big you are. People are going to come in the door, people are going to go out the door. So we want to make sure that you're recruiting enough that you can not only hit your goals of level advancement and the benefits that come with that, but that you also will be able to maintain it comfortably and not be panicking every month to get more people in the door. So going down to the next table down, party assumptions. So parties per week, you're only having to do 1 per week. So 4 to 5 weeks in a month, depending on the month, just doing 1 party a week. That's not very hard to fill your calendar that way. Average in hours per party, we're assuming 3 hours per party there. Average order count, 8. Average order size, $75. Now it's between $75 and $85. We wanted to be a bit more conservative in that estimate. And then party average, like I'd mentioned before, $600. So projected annual income, the table below that with the pink header, this is basically showing you all in all, if you're doing this for 2020, you'd have a total party retail of that $31,800. You'd have the average buying discount. You'd be spending $12,720 at those lower levels to get that inventory in order to sell. Free product applied, $400, and we'll see how you earn that through this model. Total cost of goods sold, the $19,480 there. Hostess giveaways, that 10%, all that good stuff. Additional discounts that you've been given out, lifestyle bonus, all that fun stuff flowing back into your party for that total at the bottom that you see there. Now we're going to shift over and we're going to go over to the right-hand side of the page, and this is going to show how all those assumptions flow into Q1. So you'll notice at the top, we've got it broken out sideways on that y-axis by weeks, weeks 1 through 5 of the month, and we've got it broken out January, February, and March. So digging into it, you see right at the top going into January in week 1, you've got that 1 party on your calendar, 8 orders at that party. and you've got a total retail of that $600, total cost of your $372 for a total party profit of $228. Now, you see that we have this consistency flowing through in January for 5 weeks for a total of 40 total party orders and 5 parties that you would have done in the month of January for a total retail of $3,000 and total party profit of $1,140. Now, going into February and March, it's exactly the same. You'll see February, obviously you have 1 week less, so that's where you're kind of getting that 4 to 5 parties from that assumptions tab. So all in all, going down through March, it flows through exactly the same way. Then at the very bottom, you've got that kind of orangish table that says 2020 retail summary. Now, this shows all 12 months of the year and then what title you would be going into each one. Now, in this model, we assume that you'd be entering the year as an advanced consultant, but if you're doing those 8 activations throughout the year, you're going to be hitting senior consultant pretty quickly. So with that come a lot of benefits. So we have you hitting that in February. You're getting in front of a lot of people in Q1. You have perfect opportunity for that recruitment early on in the year. Then you've got your paid out levels, what you're eligible to earn, total retail sales for each month, activations coming through so you get that total of 8, and then lifestyle bonuses that you're earning. Now down on the lower left-hand corner, we've got next level benefits. So like I said before, we project you hitting that senior consultant recognition title pretty early on in the year. So down here just kind of details out for you, what those benefits are. And whether this is for your benefit viewing this, or if you want to show this to your downline consultants and show them, hey, this is everything that you can earn extra going up to that senior consultant level. It's a great tool, love this table. But it shows you going from advanced consultant, having $500 in career retail. You start at that 30% buying discount depending on what kit you obviously bought. Earning 2% on anything that you earn off of your first downline. You've got that one person in the door at the advanced consultant level, but you're not eligible for free product sponsor bonus as soon as you start. You're eligible for it as soon as you start leveling up. Then you start earning that. So if you look over on the right side, that's where we've gotten the next level. So going up to senior consultant, you see we're capturing that free product there. So you're getting that $400 in free product with those 8 activations for sponsoring. Then you've got the first time advancement bonus, that $150 for hitting senior consultant. So lots of great stuff, lots of reasons to advance. And that's how your year would look if you're wanting to earn $1,000 a month. Very quickly, we're going to move through the other 2 versions. So the other 2 versions you were presented with was the option to earn $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. So looking at the $2,000 a month, I'm not going to move through the months because it flows through exactly the same way. You can peruse that and ask us questions if you have it. But for $2,000 a month, looking at the assumptions up in the upper left-hand corner again, to do that, you're going to be doing about 7.3 parties, so 7 to 8 parties per month. You'd have 8 in January, 7 in February, and then 8 again in March. So that's kind of where we're getting that, or 6 in February rather. But now to hit that $2,000 a month, we want you doing an $800 party. Now this only makes sense because once you've gone past that $1,000 a month, you're booking that many parties, you're getting in front of that many people. You've at this point in your career at Pure Romance honed in your demo, your skills at cross-selling, follow-up sales, anything like that. So we're going to assume that you are more effective in the party. So you've got that $800 party average with an average order size of $100. Now we're still keeping the average number of orders per party at 8. So just kind of keep that in mind. So all in all, it flows through exactly the same way as the $1,000 model, and you can see how you would end up earning that $2,000 a month. Now, moving on to the $3,000 a month model, again, same thing. You're earning $3,000 a month. With this, you'd be doing about 9 to 10 parties a month. So each week you'd be doing about 2 parties, with 10 parties being held in total in January and March, and then 8 in February, accounting for that lack of 1 week there. So 2 parties a week, Friday, Saturday, doing weekday parties. There's a lot of different tactics you can do, to book those parties, get them to hold through going into Q1. But doing $3,000 a month, we're going to again assume that you're going to have gotten your Pure Romance demo and everything honed a bit more. So we're putting you at a $900 party average for this one. Still incredibly average. There's a ton of consultants that have well beyond that. So don't be intimidated by that party average if you're not quite there yet. It gives you something to shoot for, and it's very realistic. So again, flows through for the whole year. Feel free to ask questions at your tour stop as you're looking through this, and we're available as well on my team. We'll give our contact information at the end here. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. the final model that we're going to talk through today is for the upper levels. Anybody who is a director or above, when you signed up for this, we asked you, what is your personal retail going into 2020? What's that goal look like? What does your group goal look like? And how many activations do you want to be bringing in? So what our team did, our analysts worked real hard to go through and look at where did your 2018 end up? How is that projecting through to the end of 2019? And then how does that project into 2020 given your goals? Now, a lot of you who did answer this as we've been going through and building out these models, we've been seeing a lot of very strong numbers in 2019. Actually to the extent where if you look at those consultants' seasonality going through to the end of 2018, it actually looks like your 2019 projections are going to be higher than what you gave us as your 2020 goals. So for those people where that was the case, because we did kind of ask you to pull a number out of thin air, before 2019 was complete, for you all, what we're going to do is basically you'll be getting two versions of this model we're about to go through. One version that basically shows, okay, with what you told us you want to be doing in 2020, what would that look like? And then basically, okay, what's a minimum of a 10% growth over what you're projected to finish 2019? And what does that look like? Just so you can kind of see the two models back and forth, but we did give you your original one as well of what you wanted to shoot for. So again, going through here, so we've got a sample forecast here that we did. We took the name out, stripped out anything so that we're not giving any personal information, but this is a real version that we are going to go through here. So in the upper left-hand corner, we've still got your goals. So you'll see in the red text, that's what you gave us for the 2020 numbers of what you wanted to be doing: activations, group sales, personal retail, and all that. We added in basically based on what your group retail growth is projected to be, what you wanted to do. Basically, that's how much we wanted to uptick your recruitment into your downlines as well. So that's how we filled in those numbers, since we didn't ask you for those. We filled in the 2019 numbers. Again, like I had mentioned, we looked at your 2018 seasonality, how much of the year you have left to do, where you've come in 2019, and then basically projecting that through. Now, if you hold a position of prestige currently, we did basically look at, okay, are you projected to still hit that? And if you're projected to have a little bit stronger of a last couple months than seasonally you generally do, we did model out that extra little stretch. As long as it was within 15% extra stretch, we did model that out so that we're showing you what you need to do for the rest of the year, hitting that goal of your position of prestige to hold that for 2020 as well. So jumping right in, past the projections, the next table down on the left-hand side is the projected income. So this basically shows in 2019, as long as you finish the year, what we're projecting, what you'd be earning from your first downline override, second, third, and fourth. Followed by, for those of you that still have people in the pipeline that are earning the kicker bonus on all their sales, we've got that baked in for you. Your lifestyle bonus, retail sales bonuses that you'd be hitting, superstar bonus, and then your overall personal profit from your retail sales. So this person that we're looking at, we're projecting that they're going to finish the year at $125,000 personal retail, $720,000 group retail, for total earnings in 2019 of $91,172. Now that's a great year of income. So we want to see what that would look like now, projecting that into 2020 with what they told us they want to do, which their goal was doing $150,000 in personal retail, so 20% uptick in their personal over 2019. And then they want to do $1.25 million in group retail. Now that's a 73.6% gain over what we're looking their group retail is going to end 2019 at. It's a great goal, very achievable. Once you kind of have that $700,000 team, a lot of people are surprised how quickly they get to that million. So it's a great goal to have, very healthy as well. Total activations goal, they're thinking they're gonna finish 2019 with 30 and then go up to 36 in the year of 2020, so 20% gain there as well. So with all these assumptions, if they do this and they successfully hit all their metrics for the year, in 2020 they would end with a total earnings of about $140,000 or a 54% increase in their annual pay. So I don't know how often anybody out there listening gets a 54% increase in their annual salary at their day job, but it's not very common. So it shows with that extra effort and setting those goals and making sure you're hitting them every month and kind of rechecking your business staying on top of it, viewing your reports, working with your downlines, you can very easily achieve that kind of growth in your pure romance income because you get out of it what you put into it at the end of the day. Moving over to the right-hand side, it's very similar to the last one that we went through, but we're showing a full 12 months. So we're going to look at the top right table here, which is showing your 2019 retail summary. So when you look at this, at the time of filming this, October's not quite done yet, so we've got through September numbers here. You'll notice that half of the cells are blue and then half of them are kind of an orange hue to it. I'll call it peach. I like peach. So looking at the blue ones, anything that's in blue, that signifies that it's actual performance data, that the month has been completed, and then that's actually how your team did. The orange ones are projections to carry out those last months to hit those end of 2019 goals and then go into the 2020 table. You'll notice that all of those are orange because we haven't gotten there yet. So going through, you see where you're projected to be for your recognition title, each month, where you actually were in the blue cells. So this person was a national director in January. They dropped down to senior director and had that paid at level of 6 that they actually earned. In March, they went back up to national director, so they yo-yoed there a little bit, and then in June, they actually got up to senior national director, where we're projecting them to stay for the rest of 2019. Over to the right, again, paid at levels. So then the blue cells, that's what paid at level you actually got paid at in a given month. And then going into the orange cells with the given performance, what you'd be getting paid at as well, given your recognition title and what paid at level you can go up to. Over to the right of that, you're going to notice that there's 2 personal retail columns. Now, it's less relevant in the 2019 year, but when we get into the 2020 table, it's a bit more relevant, so I'll walk through it now. A lot of people have different circumstances with their seasonality. Maybe they do have kids, they don't have kids, maybe they live near a college campus, and so their party schedule is very school year driven. So a lot of people who are in that situation have a very big spike in August, September months that other people might not have. So we wanted to lay this out in 2 different ways, because if you are one of those people that have an irregular seasonality, or if you had something happen in 2018, you broke your leg and couldn't do parties, something like that, that might have thrown off that seasonality, we wanted to show you what your personal retail would have to be each month, using the corporate seasonality and also your personal. So you'll notice that both of them end up the 2019 year, this person doing $125,000 in personal retail. It's just a matter of how it's spread over the months. Going over to the right, we've got your first, second, third, and fourth downline retail. The way that we did this is we took year to date, 2019, what percent of your group retail minus your personal retail came from your first, second, third, fourth, and then we projected that forward, given what you wanted to be recruiting and feeding into those downlines and what your attrition rate has been year to date. So all in all, on the right-hand side, you see that flow through to total group retail, personal plus your downlines 1 through 4, where in 2019 at the bottom there, you'd be doing that total of $720,000. Now, underneath that, we give you what your 2018 numbers were. So this person would have done 9% more than they did in 2018, as long as the rest of 2019 ends up the way that we're projecting them to go. So moving down, we'll move through this table pretty quickly. It's exactly the same format, same columns, but this is actually taking your 2020 projections and showing in the same way that we did for 2019 how that would project out throughout the year. Now again, just as a refresher, this person wanted to do 1.25 million in group retail, of which they wanted to do 150,000 coming from their personal retail, the rest coming from their downlines. So moving through this, again, like we showed in 2019, this person in June got up to senior national director. This person wants to be doing 36 recruits throughout the year. Given their attrition rate, it looks like they'll, with this activation, seasonality and cycle, they'll be able to maintain senior national director going through all of 2020. Next to that, paid at levels again, given the performance of the month. You've got your $150,000 in personal retail to the right there, projected out again using your personal seasonality versus corporate, so you can kind of see where you land with that. Then your first through fourth downline retail. And then at the very bottom, you're going to see what growth that means for each one of the downlines. So this person's first downline would be going up 46%, their second downline 82%, third 170%, and fourth 198%. Now where that is largely being driven from is the downline activations assumptions that we had going into the new year. So again, we modeled that out based on what kind of group increase did you want to do in 2020, and what's your current productivity, and how can we have kind of a balance of body count versus also increased productivity driving that growth. So overall, this person would have a total of 74% growth in their group retail in 2020 if they hit all these numbers. Going down into the bottom, final couple tables, we've got recruitment summary. So this shows for each month of the year, 2019 versus 20 shown side by side. You'll see that those the highest headers up there show your personal activations of people in your first downline recruiting into your second recruiting into third, and so on. This cycle shows you how at the end you'd be hitting that 36 personal activations goal for 2020, 62 people being activated by your first downline members into your second, 36 by your second going into your third. So you kind of see how that snowballs and how that growth is flowing through into those 2020 numbers by each downline level. So then over to the right, final couple tables, home stretch here, downline contributions. So this is basically showing each row is one of your downline levels, 1 through 4 on the left side you see there. Average number of active consultants that you had in a given month. Obviously this fluctuates, there's roll-ups each month, but this is on average how many you had in 2019 in the top table, and then the bottom table in 2020. So on average, this person had 30 people in their first downline in any given month, 36 in their second, so on and so forth. Average monthly sales by each one of those downline levels, and then the resulting monthly productivity per consultant, and then the total sales coming from each one of your downlines. So you're going to see if you jump down to the 2020 table, it's exactly the same. We've got that attrition coming into play. They've increased their activations going into their first downline, but there is going to still be that attrition. There's going to be people leaving the business. It's no big deal. It happens to everybody. It's very normal. But on average, they'd be having 34 people in a given month in their first downline versus the 30 in 2019. So you've got an average of a 4-person uptick doing those 36 activations over the 30 in 2019, you kind of have that uptick there. Now, average monthly sales and then the resulting average monthly productivity per consultant. So we wanted to have a balance here of how much are we depending on you recruiting more people into the business versus how much is productivity coming into play. So you will see that it's not just body count, looking at the person's attrition and what they want to be recruiting into their downlines. Basically our model looks at it and says, okay, you're not going to hit the group just on body count. So that's when we start ratcheting up the productivity. So you can see in the first downline, they're doing an average of $909 per person versus in 2019 where it's $711. So think about how you're incentivizing your downlines, what kind of contests you're running, how you're coaching them, onboarding them, all of that kind of stuff. Tons of training is going to be available at this tour. We're really excited to see you out here and hitting these 2020 goals. We'd love to talk to you about any of this. If you have questions, we'll put my email address at the bottom of the screen here. It's mhaas@pureromance.com. Be happy to talk to you about any of this if you have questions. We look forward to seeing you out on this tour. Bye, ladies.